Well, I know this may be the furthest thing from your minds today, but it does mark International Day of Happiness. This year's theme is Happier Together, focusing on what we have in common rather than what divides us. Joining me this morning is Shareen Richter. She's an international laughter and happiness professor. Yes, it's true. It is such a title. Shareen, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And thanks for coming in now. I think as we sit here this morning, South Africans are sitting and asking, what on earth do we actually have to be happy about? Because we're all so cross, we're all so frustrated.
Yes.
Load shedding is one of them. Petrol increases, fuel increases coming up in just a couple of weeks. What do we have to be happy about?
So I think that when looking at what happiness actually is, the real definition of happiness is, do I feel an inner sense of being okay, being resilient, and actually being able to notice the small things in life? So yes, life is, I always say, life is not for sissies. It's not easy, and there will always be challenges. But every event that happens is almost a neutral event, and your stress or your anger or your unhappiness actually comes from an emotion you attach to it. So I think getting into a mindset of, I choose happiness despite what's going on. Life is going to happen, but the way your life will pan out for you will be determined by your reaction to the event.
Well, sometimes we feel like we just have hit the bottom of that barrel and we're sitting right there, rock bottom. How do you make yourself feel that? What do you say? How do you talk yourself into that?
So happiness is really an emotion. It's not a cognitive process. Yeah. You can't think yourself happy. You can't stand in front of a mirror going, so happy, because you're not going to be happy. Yeah. But when you feel happy, you have this inner feeling and you don't even need to tell yourself. You just know that you're happy. So what I've done is developed a whole lot of strategies, what I call happiness strategies, that you integrate into your life that become part of your everyday existence.
Oh, please tell us.
And it really helps you to reframe things in a different way. The one that I love most, which is, there's a Harvard professor who was one of the four founders of positive psychology. His name is Tal Ben-Shahar. And he said something very profound. He said choice is creation. Every single moment of every single day, you are choosing what your mood's going to be, how to dress, what to look like, how to sit, how to be when you're around people. And every moment adds to another and another and another, and you've got an hour, and then a day, and then a week. Okay. And those are all from your choices. So the beautiful part about choice is if your current choices are not working for you, choose differently.
Okay, even if they are beyond your control sometimes.
And a lot of the time it's not. So it's how do I find inner happiness or that inner sense of I'm okay despite what's happening outside.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's what I've lived. I've lived by this to say it's not what life throws at you, it's how you deal with it.
Exactly.
It's how you approach it, how you decide you're going to see this thing.
So I'll give you an example is traffic, especially now with load shedding and robots being down. We've got two options. We can either sit in the traffic and get irritated and angry and uptight and panic about it. And then if we get to work in that space, we're not going to be productive. We're not going to be nice to
We're going to take it out on someone else and make them unhappy.
Exactly. So shift the mindset, because what I say is sit in the car, have a playlist of your favorite happy music and use that as time to like zone out, to just enjoy the music and let it be your quiet time.
Or get on that hands-free and catch up with friends you haven't caught up with, provided they're not, you know,
exactly,
somewhere else.
exactly. So use that as your own sacred space.
Okay, well, you've got some cards there. I'm very curious to see what are they happiness cards?
They are happiness
cards. Tell us what your happiness cards say.
So these cards say things like you rock.
Oh, I tell myself that.
You're awesome. You're super incredible.
Is that for ourselves? We're telling ourselves this?
No. So the idea with this is that you randomly give it out to people. And it's absolutely amazing if I went to you and gave you this card and said, you know, you just rock. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
What happens is that feeling that you have by receiving the card puts you in a much happier space.
Okay, well, hold it up a little bit more so our camera can actually have a look, and you can change them around. And they're so colourful, and so even if you have just a few seconds of like a moment, it's going to stay with you for just a few seconds. You're like, oh, what's a little card going to do for me? But just to read that, and somebody's given it to you, and that's what they think of you.
But I even use it if I go to a supermarket, and you know, how many times do we get to the checkout and we're on the phone, and we're kind of going, bag,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
and you know, you put it, and you don't realize
That's a person.
there's a person there who is serving you. So often what I'll do is give them one of these before I give my credit card.
You know what I've done? I've bought them a chocolate. If I see that they're having a particularly bad day, I buy them a chocolate.
And just, it's little things.
And it makes
now-
me feel good. Not only does it make them happy, it makes me happy
Yes.
to do it.
So the beauty about that is that you spread happiness to that
Yeah.
person. She's then nice to the next customer, who then goes home, is nice to her spouse or nice to her kids.
It's just that
and it's
ripple
just
effect,
a ripple
yeah.
effect. Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't take much. It's a few kind words. It's a piece of cardboard.
Smiling.
It's a little chocolate. It's smiling. It's
When
just
we do
asking them how
this,
they're
it
doing.
gets the brain to release endorphins. So
Yeah.
if you just
It
walk
might
around like
help a bit.
this,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
a good way to get some happy drugs.
It's just a simple thing, and it doesn't actually cost you anything.
No.
Does it? Fantastic.
No.
Thank you very much. I mean, we know these things, we just don't put them into
Exactly.
practice. But the professor told us, Shareen Richter, International Laughter and Happiness Professor, just telling you, yes, you try and find a reason, find that reason to be happy, and you have many deep down inside. Thank you very much, Shareen. Happy
you so
Happiness
much.
Day. Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right.